Welcome back to Beyond Revenue, where every Friday we bring real tactics that drive revenue. I'm your host, Michael Jäger, and today we are talking about how not to lose the deal you think you won. And we are joined by Ben Bauer, VP Sales of WorkFlex. Ben has spent years building and scaling SaaS teams, coaching revenue professionals, and helping organizations to close more deals with great consistency. So Ben, thanks for being here.
Hi, Michael. Thank you for having me. I'm already flattered.
So before we dive into tactics, give us a quick sense of your background. What do you focus on WorkFlex, and what's your main challenge right now?
Hi, I'm Ben, VP Sales at WorkFlex. My sales organization is around 30 people. The whole revenue team, including marketing and customer success, is around 40. So a lot to do. And with WorkFlex, we basically make it compliant to cross-border work, like anything like assignments, vacation, usual business trips, duty of care, everything you can think of where you operate worldwide. You make it compliant and safe. So basically, we are talking to a lot of companies of rather big size, no SMB market. Like we would outbound companies from 500 employees upward and not downward. And this is basically one of my biggest challenges, like Windows big fish.
I like it. What would you say has changed, in terms of challenges, let's say 5 years ago, to compared to now in 2026 for VP sales or a sales leader?
Actually, I think 5 years ago, it was basically a little easier for us because salespeople then had already learned they can read books and have better success. And by now the customers have learned salespeople have read books and want to have better success. And now I think it's a little more again on customer experience. Whereas at the same time, people can with AI compare things much faster, can have perfect summaries of what is the best tool for them. So customer experience and also at least in enterprise business, approaching people really personalized and really think about what you do is crucial. Still, you can have all your research with AI, but it need to be tailored. It needs to be really structured and it needs to be relevant.
Yeah, fair. I think that gives us a good base for our discussion today. Let's get started. So what's the biggest deal you ever thought was guaranteed, a guaranteed close one, but you didn't?
Actually, luckily not too big for enterprise sales. It was roughly 155K ARR. This was one we would have expected and we lost it.
And what happened?
Actually, I think beginner's mistake, even on my end, very late, another stakeholder came into the sales cycle and we had already convinced all others. We were it was already we would invite them even to our weddings and birthdays, but not the new one. And we underestimated this and didn't catch the stakeholder while we did the others. And basically this one vetoed.
Shit. No. What? Fair, and it happens. Sometimes you don't know, right?
Yeah.
And then you did all the work. So what's one phrase that instantly make you nervous in a late stage deal?
Let me think about it. Or it takes some more time. Both are really not too good.
If you could eliminate one sales myth forever, what would it be?
I would say always be closing, not as a myth, but as a phrase, but because always be closing is fine, but before always be closing, there should be always be qualifying, not in the first meeting, but this leads to closing. That's why.
How much of closing a deal is process versus intuition?
I think there's a lot which is process. Or let's put it the other way around. There can be people who do it for 20 years with intuition and they do it basically right. But if you want to scale something, you cannot just believe and hope that those people will do the right thing. So it's a lot of process. I would even say 80%, because what you want to do with scaling is basically see what good looks like or what you expect and also give it as tools to your other sales.
Yeah, absolutely. And I believe it, especially in enterprise deals, right? Complexity is bigger than before, right? We have much more people involved. We have much lower levels where board decisions are included, or where we include multiple buyer personas. And I think if you believe you can just close a deal without being very structured, you risk a lot, right? Because you will not see everything, and the potential of losing a deal, I think it's much higher than it has been, 5 years ago, where economy has been different, and the head of marketing could decide quite high budgets in buying
fair
stuff.
enough. More money on the street back then.
Yeah, but let's get started with the two tactics which actually lead to something more successful, and the one tactic which didn't. What was your first tactic which you applied? What was the case? What did you do, and what was the result?
Basically, what I often see with salespeople is at some stage at the deal, they are too confident, and they are not anxious anymore. They could lose it. So what we always trying to see if we still have the same engagement of the customers is we always give them homework. Might be a small one, but we always test the water with that. Can you bring until next time this? Can you answer this question until there? So we always have this test if they are still as engaged as they were at the beginning. And then they're you do not get too often surprised of that some deals are slipping, because you would see this much easier beforehand because they do not what they have agreed to. So we try to always give our customers homework, even if it's only just asking them a question for the question's sake.
What kind of things is it? So to make it a little bit concrete, what could it be?
It could be everything. It could be the NDA. It can be the usual stuff they always have. Or can you please list all the entities you want to have in there? It could be anything. It could be things you anyway need. You just always have one with you. And how we usually do this even is we go into the meetings and already tell them, this is my expectation of this meeting. What is yours? To test it. And then also, if this is successful, we might need or will need this. And that's why this proved successful, because they already know at the beginning at the meeting, or they could say, okay, I don't want to, or something else.
Fair. Like it. What's another tactic which actually moved the needle?
We have basically a discount table, and therefore my salespeople are much more confident in negotiating, because it's not they need to estimate what they could give for a discount, but we have an actual table what we want to trade with our customers for the discount. And this has resulted in remarkable results. Even only 4% discount in 200K deals, 0% discount in deals where we say, yeah, we would like to trade 5% of discount for a video case study. And if they say no, we just say we don't grant the discount. And this moved the needle a lot also for commitment, and also for commitment of that stuff. And why this is also nice is because you can put in things that are for great value for you, but does cost the customer basically nothing. For example, sometimes we have in there 3 to 4% discount for 15 reference calls a year. So we can always tackle this customer and ask him if it's a specific industry, and this moved the needle a lot.
I really like it. Yeah, because I think quite often we forget, if you look at the closing probabilities towards the discount given, you don't see a correlation, right? If the higher discount doesn't increase the probability to close. And I think if you put something where you trade into it, first of all, you educate your seller that they need to think and they need to negotiate this, and not just give it. Yeah, because putting barriers into discounts already helps to reduce discounts, which I really like. Let's get to the tactic which you applied where you realized one day it didn't work out.
There's always this big between do a big wave rollout with really big ARR and land and expand. I would have loved to have done a lot of wave rollouts where it's billions of ARR, but actually most of the time it's actually land and expand. We get a foot in. This can be a big deal though, 50K ARR, 100K ARR. But we were not quite successful yet, in telling them, you are going to need us anywhere worldwide. So let's put it into actual years already. We have tried this, or we are still trying even, we adjusted tactic on that. But with land and expand, we were actually much stronger, and the results were also really good.
Fair. So did you lose deals because you tried to fully load?
No, actually, when it comes to that, we always tell them, okay, this might be the world rollout, let's say, or Europe rollout, and this might what you have asked for, like Germany or something. The only thing that happens is that they didn't take Germany. I do not think we have lost the deal, therefore.
Thank you very much, first of all, for the great insight. So let me summarize for our listeners, right? Tactic number one was like, in order to understand early indicators if this is a proper deal or not, you try to give homework to your clients in more or less every call and see if they come back and do it. And if they don't do it, you already can understand that this deal is rather at risk and will not move as expected. Tactic number two, and it's one I really like, is like you can apply discounts, but not without a trade. So you developed a discount matrix where you have trades against the discount given. I think you said 5% discount for a proper video case study, then they can give it. And if they don't agree to the video case study, the discount cannot be given, which led to a very low discount rate at your, even on big deals, and increased your general baskets. And it trained your people not just to fully hand out discounts at any time because they think it makes it easier for them to close. And I would even say on the contrary, sometimes if the discount is too high, it reduces the trust. And the third tactic, which actually didn't work is so far, is you try to fully load a deal to get the full basket in, right? The full worldwide rollout with a multi-year contract, which is even increasing already by contract on the first deal, which didn't work. So you fully focus on the land and expand, get a deal in, build the trust, and then grow, which I believe, to be honest, is even the better tactic, yeah, because it builds more trust. You much more in, and it increases the probability tremendously to really fully roll out and even upsell even further. Great insights. Thank you very much for sharing. Anything to add from your side for my summary?
One thing maybe on the discounts, like on tactic 2, like we even changed like the metrics for what is important to us. When we needed video case studies, like this had a higher percentage. When we needed more reference calls, like this had a higher percentage. Also like silently giving our AEs the incentive to do the right things.
Fair enough. So thank you very much for your time, Ben, and sharing your insight. That's it for today's episode of Beyond Revenue. Thanks for the listeners to listen in. If you liked that episode, please share it with your network, with your friends, or leave us a rating on YouTube or on Spotify. I'm Michael Jäger, your host. New episodes drops every Friday with real tactics and lessons. See you soon.
See you. Bye.